What's up everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Bricks Are Life. In this episode, I would like to take you on a path to nostalgia when Lego Star Wars Technic was a thing. We are in the early 2000s when the Lego Star Wars Technic sets were released. There were a total of 9 sets that were released, of which I have 6 of them. In this video, I would love to share these sets with you and the awesome features that they pack. In my personal opinion, I believe that the awesome features that these sets boast were way ahead of their time. So the first Lego Star Wars Technic figure is of the Sith Lord Darth Vader, and you can see this figure is made up entirely of Lego Technic elements. As you can see, the legs, the feet, the arms, the torso, and the helmet, they're all made up of Lego Technic elements. Now, you may notice that the stickers are a bit worn out, and that is because this set is 24 years old. Now, let's move on to the really awesome features of this set. Did you know that there are levers at the back of Vader which allow us to move his arms, like so? It's a really cool feature. Now, let me show you where these levers are and how they articulate Vader's arms. So, the levers are located back here, and you simply push down on the lever to make Vader's arms go up. And you may notice there is also another lever near the back of Vader's arm which allow us to move his thumb. And that is another really cool feature. I'm just surprised that Lego had such features in their sets 24 years ago. It's awesome. I also wanted to do a comparison between the Legacy Technic version of Darth Vader and the more recent buildable Darth Vader figure. It immediately becomes apparent that there is a humongous difference in scale and size between the Technic version and the more recent buildable version. Moreover, the Technic version is much more complex in its construction compared to the more recent buildable version. Can you guess which Star Wars character this Star Wars Technic figure represents? I'll give you a few seconds. It is none other than Jango Fett. It immediately becomes apparent that this figure represents Jango Fett by the color scheme, the purples, the blues, the grays, the blacks, the silver. It all adds up. And like I mentioned earlier, this figure is made up entirely of Lego Technic elements. The feet, the legs, the arms, the hands, the helmet, the torso, it's all made up of Lego Technic elements. How cool is that for something that was made 24 years ago? Unlike the Vader Star Wars Technic figure, Jango Fett's arms aren't articulated using levers. However, we can position his arms manually and his arms lock in those positions. I see this as a huge improvement from a posability perspective. And Jango Fett's wrists are mounted on ball joints, and this allows you to move his arms around. Jango Fett, being Jango Fett, also carries blasters in each hand. However, this does not disappoint in Jango Fett's one awesome feature, and it is that there is a lever at the back of Jango Fett, which, if pulled, allows you to make Jango Fett bow down. And after a certain trigger point, when you push this lever further, it shoots a missile mounted on his back, like so. And this is such a cool feature to be included in a set that is 24 years old. Again, I wanted to do a comparison between the Legacy Technic version of Jango Fett, and the more recent buildable version of Jango Fett. It's clearly evident that there is a huge difference in scale and size between the two, and the Technic version is much more complex in its construction compared to the more recent buildable version. The next Lego Star Wars Technic figure is none other than the awesome astromech droid R2D2. Again, this set is made up entirely of Lego Technic elements from top to bottom, and it is packed with awesome features. Let me show you. There is a third leg at the bottom of R2D2, and we can move it like this. If we move R2D2 towards the front, the leg automatically comes out, and if we move R2D2 towards the back, the third leg automatically retracts. The legs at the side of R2D2 control the movement of the third leg. Here's another awesome feature. There are gears at the bottom of R2D2's feet that act as wheels, and they help us move R2D2 around freely. R2D2's head is articulated, and it helps us move it 360 degrees, like so. And here is the most awesome feature of R2D2. There are panels at the front of R2D2, and after we open it, there is a key that we can extend using a lever at the back of R2D2. As seen in the movies, R2D2 uses this key to operate doors, airlocks, elevators, and so on. The next Lego Star Wars Technic figure represents a droid from Star Wars that is uncommon in the Lego Star Wars sets released throughout the years. It is none other than the Pit Droid. Now, you can see the Pit Droid throughout the Star Wars saga. For example, in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Episode VI, Return of the Jedi, and more recently, The Mandalorian. It immediately becomes apparent that the Pit Droid's primary function is to maintain and fix starships. Hence, it is holding tools in each hand. I say holding because these tools aren't fixed into the Pit Droid's hands using Technic pins or studs. The Pit Droid is actually holding these tools by a rubber band between the thumb and the fingers, and this rubber band provides tension that helps the Pit Droid grab these tools without dropping them. Now, I'll remove these tools. Oh, oops. Oh. Alright. As we can observe, there are rubber bands throughout the structure of the Pit Droid. In the legs, the torso, and as we saw earlier, the hands. These rubber bands provide tension, and I'll explain to you in a moment why. Now, Pit Droids usually collapse into a much smaller structure when they're attacked or when they need to shut down when their work is done. We can do the same with this set, simply by folding the legs up and the torso down. That is why the rubber bands provide tension, so we can collapse the Pit Droid into a much smaller structure. Now the Pit Droid is a much smaller structure, and we can quickly pop it back, like so. We quickly pop back the legs, and hence the torso, and voila! The Pit Droid is back on its feet. How cool is that? The next set in the lineup of Lego Star Wars Technic sets is an unmistakably well-known droid from the Star Wars saga. It is none other than the B-1 Battle Droid. Again, just like all of the other Lego Star Wars Technic figures, this set is made up entirely of Lego Technic elements, from the feet to the legs to the gears, the torso, the arms, all the way up top to the head. They're all made up of Lego Technic elements, and just like the other Lego Star Wars Technic figures, there are rubber bands throughout this battle droid structure that provide tension for various movements. There's rubber bands here on the legs, there's rubber bands up here on the neck, and there's a rubber band at the back on the gull holster. let's move on to the awesome features that the B-1 battle droid packs. As you may recall from the Battle of Naboo in Star Wars Episode 1 Phantom Menace, B-1 battle droids are deployed onto fields of the Gungans from MTTs, and before they are deployed, these droids are in a collapsed state inside the MTT. We can do the same with this set. So how we do this is we move the B-1 battle droid's legs all the way up to its head and remove the B-1 battle droid's legs down from its shin onwards. This allows us to move the B-1 battle droid's head down to complete the compromised state. Now, there's a lever at the back of the B-1 battle droid's head, and upon pulling this, we can easily move the head all the way down, like so. Now the B-1 battle droid is in its fully collapsed state, and it is ready to be deployed on the field. Let's pop it back up on its legs. How we do this is, there is a lever located at the back of the droid, and upon pushing this lever, it straightens the torso and releases the legs. Like so. How cool is that? Here is another awesome feature I'd love to share with you. There is a holster, a gun holster, at the back of the B-1 battle droid, and it can store half of its gun. And there's a magnet at the end of the gun. It attaches to the other end, which the B-1 battle droid is holding in its hand. Now there is a gear at the back of the B-1 battle droid, and upon moving it, we can move the entire arm of the B-1 battle droid to lock in the magnets. And if we move it the other way, the B-1 battle droid reaches in and pulls the gun out. Now it's ready to fight on the field. How cool is this feature for a set that is almost 24 years old? It's awesome. Last but certainly not least, we have the Lego Star Wars Technic Droideka, or more commonly called Destroyer Droid. Please don't mistake this set for its more recent release, because this is the original Lego Star Wars Droideka. We can appreciate that the original Lego Star Wars Droideka is more complex in its structure than the more recent release, because the more recent release uses more Lego bricks rather than Technic elements, and we can see this mainly on the armor plates and the legs. Hence, the more recent release is not even close to the complexity of the original Lego Star Wars Droideka. The Droideka is very nimble and dangerous when it curls into a ball and transports itself to another place before it springs back into action and opens its shields, like we see here with this set in this state. Let me show you how we can curl the Lego Technic Droideka into a ball. Converting Droideka from attack formation to a curl ball. Hey everyone, I hope you all enjoyed the nostalgic tour of the Lego Star Wars Technic era. It'll be great to see your comments on which of these sets caught your attention and which of the features blew your mind. Please do give me a thumbs up, hit that like button, share my videos with all the Lego Star Wars lovers, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more awesome Lego content. See you in my next video.